Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Crystal Roberts, and I just want to let you know that I am 100% not a comedian, but I'm going to try today. So, first, let's talk about my grandpa. He is the funniest person I know, besides me, of course. So, picture this. He was like a fruit dealer with some exotic produce racket. He would always go on these adventurous day trips, bringing back crazy fruit with horns on it and weird colors and weird shapes. And he would always say, "Come on over here and try this, Crystal." And I would look at him and I'd say, "Grandpa, I am not trying that. That thing looks like an alien. It's got spikes. Like, what if it cuts me? And it looks like an alien. Like, I'm not eating that. No." And he would just look at me and he'd say, "You can't go through life without trying stuff. You're boring." And I would just never get away with it, of course, because, it was my grandpa and he was not going to take no for an answer like everybody else's grandpa in this world. And so, of course, I ended up eating the alien fruits. And I wonder if that's why I talk like this sometimes. But hey, thanks, Grandpa. And then there was the infamous frozen broccoli incident. This was more geared toward my grandma, but my grandpa does have a part in this one. So I would be about 7, maybe 6, riding my little car around in the kitchen, and then I'd see the frozen broccoli and I'd instantly run over to it, lift up the trunk of my car, throw it in there, and then zoom off. And then she would just come running out of the house, and I'd be zooming off on my car, going, "Save me, Grandpa, save me, Grandpa." And she would be standing there. I would stand behind him, and then he would hide. He would be blocking me, and then she would just be like, standing. Her face was so red with that vein popping out right there and right there. I thought she was going to have an aneurysm or come and get me and rip the hair out of my head. But my broccoli obsession was just too strong, and it was obviously way too much for her to handle. But she shouldn't have left it on the counter, leaving it so tempting for a little kid to come up and take it that had a broccoli obsession. But the best memories were the evenings spent playing card games and board games and checkers and chess and just getting my butt handed to me the whole time. And my grandpa would just laugh hysterically about it. He would be sitting there and we'd be playing chess and I'd be thinking I was going to win, and then he would just move his piece and be like, "Check." And then I would move my piece out of the way, and then he'd move and he'd go, "Check." Then I'd move again and he'd say, "Check." And then I would be like, "What the heck?" And then all of a sudden, he would just slam the piece down on the table and say, "Checkmate." And then he would start cracking up and going into this fit of laughter, like, like I was just looking at him like, "That is not funny. You have beat me a million times already today, and you're just sitting here laughing about it." But his laugh was like, it was so contagious. You couldn't help but laugh when you heard him laughing. It was almost like an epidemic. And I, to this day, catch myself bursting into laughs just like that, and my kids give me that same look that I gave my grandpa, and they would always say, "Oh, there goes mom again," and I would just look at them and say, "You're next," because it's gonna go down the line. And let's not forget about the spelling bees. He would come up with the craziest, wackiest words, and I would try to spell them, but I swear he made up some of those words. I mean, eudaimonic, who, or eudaimonic, maybe that's how you say it. I don't know how to pronounce it, let alone spell it, and especially when I was 7 or 8. And I mean, what even is it? I was spelling with him until I was about 35, trying to conquer his genius, and he finally either ran out of words or just took pity on me because he fried my brain for the last 30 years. But I still can't believe to this day that my grandpa's secret plan that he had to turn me into a fearless foodie by making me try all those crazy fruits and weird foods and black-eyed peas and weird stuff, but it actually worked because now I've tried so many different things and I owe it all to him. And let's not forget his method of teaching me to be a good sport by kicking my butt all the time, making me lose over and over and over again, and maybe throwing in a win every once in a while just to keep me hooked. Like I thought I was going to eventually beat him. But the best part was all of those ridiculous word quizzes that he gave me. They taught me so many different words and vocabulary, even if I didn't know what it meant. Like sometimes I kind of what they meant, but sometimes I would just throw in a word and it was so crazy that I knew nobody was going to know what it meant anyway, except him. It was almost like he had diarrhea of the mouth when he would talk. He would just spit out a word and it would just be some crazy real word. And I'd never heard of it. And probably neither has half of America. But despite all of it, I owe it all to him. He is a big part of who I am today. And all of those experiences taught me not to be scared, how to be resilient, how to be a pro problem solver, trying because I was always trying to get him, like beat him in those words and figure out how he knew what they were. But I owe it all to you, Grandpa. And I love you so much. And I know you're in heaven. You're probably looking at me right now thinking, what is she doing? But he knows I'm trying to get a college degree and he's proud of me. But, anyways, thank you, everybody. This is Crystal Roberts. And remember, I'm not a comedian.